Alright, this is going to be part 5 of Tales of Innocence R. Anyways, I think we're just still gathering information in the town. I think there's a big dungeon coming up too. I looked a little bit ahead in the guide. There we go. Hermana says, "You two sure took your sweet time." Spada says, "I know, right? Where the heck did you slack off to?" Well, excuse me, but the one doing the slacking was Ruka, not me. Ruka then cuts Ilya off because she's being a bitch again. So what did you learn? Apparently an authoritative figure buried near this area has become deified. In simpler terms, a powerful person became a god after death. According to local belief, when one dies, they ascend into Cielo and are welcomed as a god. A tomb containing generations of this land's kings may be similar to a shrine in this foreign land. A king's tomb, huh? It does seem like there might be a memory circle within a place like that. Let's check it out. And I heard the location of the tomb is north of the town. Okay. So at least we know where we're going. Ilya says, "Hey, you know what?" "What?" "Ruka's been sulking a lot, and it's starting to piss me off. Let's beat him up." "What does that idiot think we're doing exactly?" "That flirt." Spada says, "Ruka, there's no way he did anything like that." "Yes, and you know what? He had this passionate moment." "Why are you lying about stuff like that, Ilya?" "Why would I lie to you? And what makes you so sure it's a lie?" "Isn't it obvious? As if Ruka could get ahead of me." "Anyways, just remember that dummy Ruka's a pervert." "No way, I don't believe it." "Ruka, I believe in you." "I'll have to look more into this." Hermana says, "I believe in ya," he says while looking into it. "You totally don't believe in him." "Oh, Spada, what's up?" "Yo, Ruka, I hope you're in good health." "First things first, I heard from Ilya that you're a playboy." "No, as if I'd be able to hit on someone." "What a relief. There's no way in Cielo you'd be able to do that." "Seeing you react that way hurts me a bit, though." "But why would Ilya tell you that? It's the opposite of what happened." "So, what happened?" "I ended up meeting Chitose, and we ended up talking together until Ilya came." "What the heck? So you really were flirting?" "No, we were just talking." "Just talking, huh? I think I get it now. It's just revenge." "So inviting Chitose out to talk was a bad idea, huh?" "What? If you have any gripes, just let it out." "It's nothing. I think I really should apologize to Ilya." "No, she's not mad at you. She just dislikes Chitose." "Oh, so that's why. I think I get it." "Wait, actually I don't. If she hates Chitose, then why would she be mad at me?" "Well, it's 'cause you..." "What about me?" "It's just happenstance. Let it be." Is it really hopeless to keep hanging on? Why does he even like this girl? She's just been nothing but a vile bitch. Kinda strange to me. Never, ever, ever date anyone like that, or you're an idiot. I don't care if you're gay, straight, lesbian, furry, trans. Stay away from people like that. They're scumbags. They will never change. They might offer you an appearance of being able to change, but I guarantee you they will revert to their bad ways eventually. Ashihara Royal Tomb. So, this is a king's tomb. Halt, men of foreign lands. What business do you have here? Intruders, for the king's wrath might be inflicted onto you, and you'll be cursed. We came because we have an interest in foreign cultures. Can we have a look inside? No, people without proper authorization may not enter. Come on, man, don't be so stingy. Dear me, speaking so strangely herself. They just think each other talk weird, I guess. Only people with permits are allowed to pass the gate. If you're here for sightseeing, check out the city. Who do we ask for a permit? If you insist, you have to head into town and look for the elder. Okay. Why make me go over here and then come back? Those gravekeepers sure have a weird way of talking. Their manner of speaking and cosmetics are peculiar as well. Could it perhaps be part of Ashihara's kabuki culture? I'm not familiar with it, but I heard it's a characteristic makeup and manner of speaking that makes them stand out. So you mean they're making actors act as gravekeepers? That seems weird. I have no idea what will happen with their culture, but the islanders probably have no choice but to cooperate with each other to propagate their culture. I wonder if it's a hobby. Let's go back to town and find the elder. Okay. This is just what I would call a terrible game design when they backtrack you so often. They're like, oh, this RPG is supposed to be like 40 hours long, so we're gonna add 20 hours of bullshit in it. Shit like that drives me crazy. Like, literally the whole thing was when we got here that we need to talk to everyone in town, and then they make you do it again. At least we found him quickly. Ilya says, are you the village elder? Yes, how strange it is for me to be greeted by foreigners. Can we enter the tomb? Why don't you jump into the sea first? Calm down, Ruka. If you speak that way, you might cause a misunderstanding. Apologies, we'd like to enter the tomb. I was wondering if you would give us permission. The tombs, I suppose there's no harm in that. The burial treasures have already been set aside to offset national spending. We have nothing left worth stealing. We'd like to inspect the tomb as part of a historical dissertation. As you see, the one who is so eager to get into the tomb is our leader, Ruka. Yeah, we'd like authorization for inspection. I see, if that's the case. Elder, they're here again. So, it's that time again. This has been happening lately during the high tide. This and that, what exactly are you talking about? Lately, when the high tide comes, beasts tend to come out of their habitats and terrorize the town. Perhaps you guys might be able to do something about it. How about this? I'll give you authorization as payment for subjugating beasts. Not a bad deal. What do you guys think? And we get to help them along the way. Then I'll leave this in your care. Those beasts always appear at the entrance. However, they appear in waves, so it might be difficult to handle. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it from here. Wow, to say something like that, aren't you cocky? They're at the entrance, right? Let's get going.
You know that I want you, and you know that I need you. I want your bad, bad romance.
I want your love and I want your revenge. Yeah, I can't sing. Ruka says, everyone look, aren't those the beasts that the elder was talking about? Biatch. They're coming right at us. I'm so fired up. Everyone be careful. No shit, surely. That was a breeze. Pride will lead to your downfall. Don't let your guard down. I know that. Here comes the next wave. Dead. I'm more of an indoor person. Hunting isn't my forte. Sorry about that, Conway. Oh, don't worry about it, Ruka. I'm just grumbling to myself. I'll tough it out, I guess. They're not coming at us anymore. Is that all of them? I feel bad. If the land wasn't sinking, then we wouldn't have to kill them. Chitose said it began when Cielo collapsed. Oh, so Chitose told you, huh? I never said it was wrong to exterminate them, though. Screw you, that's not what I meant. Dummy. Man, just drop it already. How about we head back? We have to report in. Alright, let's go. Angie, it's quite troublesome that you keep jumping in front of danger to save people. While that may be true, I do not believe it is acceptable to abstain from taking action just because you're protecting me. However, this situation is quite unavoidable, is it not? I still heavily prefer that you leave the extermination request to me. Oh my, is protecting me that heavy a responsibility for you? As Ricardo said, just leave it to us. He just wants you to be safe. But that is why I'm fighting. I don't want anyone to get hurt. That's a bit unfair. To be honest, if you're not with us, we would have gotten in more trouble. That's true. Well, I won't allow myself to get left behind. These bitches talk too much. Oh, I have all the volume turned off, because otherwise Japanese would be over this, and I wouldn't be able to dictate the lyrics, Jesus. I wouldn't be able to narrate. Ruka says, it must be quite sad for Chitose to gradually see her beautiful hometown sink into the sea. Oh no, he's yakking about Chitose again. You never shut up, do you? Wow. I never shut up. It's not like I'm always talking about her. But you just said her name twice. Hey, if you say it one more time, I'll give you a present. I'll whisper words about the misfortune that will occur on your birthday so you won't forget. So, you're gonna harass me. Aren't you being a little oversensitive about Miss Cheeto? Pardon me, but did you say that I'm oversensitive? Oh, forget it. Why even get offended? Like, yuck. You're the one who's being a bitch, lady. No matter how you look at it, Ilya's definitely angry. Oh dear, it really does seem that way. Do you think it's fine for us to leave them be for the time being? Yeah. No, you mean it would be bad if we continued interacting with them? But I thought it would be more interesting. You're sure optimistic. Ruka Milda. I want to know what Angie's relationship with everyone else is. Are you wary of us? Basically, yeah. There might come a time when I'll have to take her away from you guys. Is Angie aware of this? Do you think she'll agree to it? Probably not, but I'm prepared to take her resentment if it means protecting her. That being said, what's your relationship? We just met, so it's pretty hard to find an answer to your question. That explains everyone's answers. Especially yours. Huh? Is that really the case? Ooh, ha, eat this. Angie, are you training? Yeah, the monsters are getting stronger, so I figured I'd train so I can protect myself. Admirable, however, that's not enough. So you understand, I'm not at all versed in the ways of melee combat. Physical training comes first, practicing comes after. Do I have to do physical training? That's one of my least favorite words in the dictionary. Do you like sweet things? Sweet's my favorite word. From now on, you'll have to work hard in abstaining from eating sweet foods. It'll help you shape up. And now physical training became my most hated word. What are you reading, Conway? It's not something you'd be able to understand. I have no idea what it says. I figured as much. It's because this book is written in my country's language. I figured I should mess with you because you looked so serious while reading. Since I never went to school, I can't read at all. I see, then you should ask Ruka to teach you. Being able to read can broaden your horizons. What is wonderful about reading is that you can gain knowledge and experience from the books you read. You shall also be able to learn about far-off lands. That's interesting. I should go off and study. Alright. I think I cleared out all the skits. Spada says, we took out the beasts. It seems that my eyesight has yet to fail me once again, whatever the fuck that means. So, can we inspect the tomb? You won't find anything in there, but we want to study it anyway. The tomb will give me a lot of insight into the history of the country. Goodness me, what a wonderful hobby. You're so cultured for someone so young. Sure, I give you my approval. Just tell the gatekeepers and they'll let you in. You must be so happy. Yay! He doesn't really want to go into a tomb, though. Did you say something, dummy? Nope. Then let's go. Oh, God. I feel like the translators were, like, way too direct with, like, Ilya's anger outbursts. Like, she comes off more, like, immature and, like, having a schoolgirl crush kind of thing to me, but the translators make it seem like she's just a fucking angry bitch all the time. So I don't think they, like, really evaluated very well the context. I mean, the game is called Tales of Innocence. It's about a bunch of kids. And they use a lot of, like, really big words sometimes that are just not appropriate, I think, for the dialogue. The Elder told us of your deeds. Everyone may pass. We no longer have any reason to forbid you entry. Cool. Thanks. Let me in now. Sweet, this place is big. It sure doesn't look like your ordinary tomb. Well, it is a tomb of a king. Influential people often demonstrate their power by building huge monuments like these. Although, I believe this place was constructed to serve as a temple as well. If that's the case, then there might be an altar, which means another memory spring. I think the possibility of that is quite high. Yeah, they're just not saying anything interesting. They just talk so fucking much, it just drives me nuts. And not in the fun way. Like, you can say a lot with a little. This game says little with a lot of words, which is not my favorite thing. So it seems the town elder back there was the king of the country. That's strange. I thought the king's supposed to be somebody who sits on a fancy chair. Ruka says, as it is now, Ashihara's in danger of sinking. I assume he's there so he can be called when in need. He didn't appear to be preoccupied, did he? Right, he did seem to be relaxing. I don't know. It seemed that way, didn't it? But it might also be the case that we just happened to catch him during free time. Kings are busy, you know. Yeah, that's probably true. My papa's not always busy, though. Oh yeah, your father's a village chief. Is he actively working on the village development? Not really, it's at a leisure pace. But you know, I sure want to be royal someday. And how do you plan on doing that? I'll make one fall in love with me. Oh, so you're planning on marrying that old man. I won't approve of it, if you're planning on marrying just because of that. No, I'm planning on having Sis Ilya marry him. And when she does, I'm gonna sneak into her family and call myself the younger sister. I don't mind being your sister, but I'm not marrying some geezer. Maybe he has a hot grandson I can marry. That's a grand plan you've got there. Make sure to talk about it more thoroughly. Oh boy. What's the matter, Hermie? You stupid. Nothing's going down my throat is all. That doesn't make sense. What's wrong? Every time I remember that we're under the sea, I feel my breath go short. I see, so you can't swim. I thought that if I said that, you wouldn't force me to go in the water. Water's cold and it goes up your nose. It's impossible for me to float in it. Even though you were a dragon? Well, I'm not a dragon now. So Hermie can't swim. She's really hopeless. You're one to talk. Can you swim, Coda? Coda hates it. Same. I'm too smart to go in the water. Water's for drinking. Seems like the thought of swimming practice is out of consideration for you two, huh? Too many words. Far too many words. watching you for a while now, Ruka. Aren't you a little too nervous? Almost like a different person compared to Ashura. Why is this coming up again? Like, all the characters are like reincarnated from some fancy people from a long time ago. And they just keep saying like, hey Ruka, you're completely different from the guy that you reincarnated from. But so is everybody else. It's so fucking annoying. I know that, I'm trying. That's so. I'll try not to bother you then. Thanks. With that scrawny looking back, it would be worse if I left you alone. Doesn't make sense. Awesome. I feel like this game would be a lot more enjoyable if I was just skipping most of the dialogue. This place is kind of big. Well, let's go this way first then, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of funny because a while back on my channel I played the Final Fantasy VII retranslated, and it was like incoherent half the time. Kongwei says, Ruka, there's something I want to give you. It's called a Sorcerer's Ring. Yeah, we know what that does in the Tales games. Cool. Is there a fucking order to this? And there's no clue. Yeah, translating is very difficult for sure, because there's lots of humor in the Tales series, which is going to be lost on somebody that doesn't understand Japanese culture. So even if you can speak Japanese, like, it doesn't matter if you haven't immersed yourself in the culture, you're not going to know what the fuck they're saying half the time anyway. And I feel like that's what happens a lot in this translation. There's too many literal takes, and it gives me a headache. Let me see here if the guide tells me how to do this stupid-ass puzzle. Yeah, they don't even mention this puzzle in the guide, so I think they actually played Tales of Innocence, not Tales of Innocence R. Yeah. At first there were two clay figures. When the light of those who gaze into the darkness is kindled, the door will be opened. Gazing into the darkness, huh? I don't see any darkness. Well, that ain't it. Okay, so the puzzle will automatically reset if I do something wrong, is kind of the impression I'm getting. just follow where their faces are looking. Shazam. That's the thing, like you've said to me before, like Portuguese, like Portuguese is a lot more formal, and Portuguese in Brazil is a lot more informal sounding. So if you have somebody interpreting it from Portuguese, like it's not gonna probably sound right. But there's no coherence in this script at all. Like, I can completely tell that multiple translators worked on this. They were given parts to work on. So I think whoever probably like worked on the main game did a better job than the people who worked on the skits. So but I get the impression too, because it seemed like they had some spreadsheets and people that don't speak Japanese like working on this, so they're like just like trying to interpret various things from like spreadsheets. And I mean, in most countries, like if you look at a dictionary, one word doesn't just have one definition, so context is kind of everything. So if they're just going off like these one words, like you're gonna have problems like that arise for sure. Yeah, and I'm sure the more senior people like read over what the people that knew what they were doing less. But there's also like a pressure to release this, you know, from people that know that the project is happening. So I think that's part of it as well. It's like kind of funny because like with speedrunning, people get so goddamn political about it, like that it just blows my mind. So I'm sure some of that happens with this too. Alright, I guess I need to drain the water. Plus, I think people in general don't like their work criticized. Especially people that are working on something for free, not getting paid. So, add all that together and you get sloppy translation work. But then you have to consider too, like, all these people are like, yeah, I really want to play this game. And that's all well and good to say that, but I don't think very many people are comfortable patching, you know, going online, downloading an illegal ROM, patching. Like, you have to put this game into Vita 3K, and then you have to go into Vita 3K's files and manipulate them so that it comes out in English. So if you don't have, like, a lot of expertise with computers, you're not gonna have a great time, honestly. Can I push these? Okay. Like I said, I think the people who translated like the top-heavy part of the script with the plot did like a lot better of a job than the people who are translating the less interesting dialogue. Which is sad, because like a lot of the humor will be interpreted incorrectly or not at all. So yeah, the thing is, if the translators pre-patched the files and sent them out, it's illegal because they can't do that. Like, it's it's a copywritten work. Like, you can't just, like, take a movie and put it on the internet without exposing yourself to lawsuits. So, you know, in order to not expose themselves to lawsuits, they won't even tell you where to get the game. Because, yeah, otherwise the translation group could be in trouble. Like, there's a shitty guide on how to patch this game, but it doesn't work correctly. Like, it took me like a couple hours to figure this shit out, because I had to, like, go into a Discord and track people down and ask them how they did it, and a lot of people were like, oh, I don't remember, and blah 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 blah, so it's like, it's just a pain in the fucking ass. But I eventually figured it out. But it's indicative that this is sloppy and a pain in the ass, because very few people have, like, posted this, like, footage of the game being played at all. But I mean, you have to kind of consider, too, not everybody has an expensive PC, because you're brute forcing this game's code, like, without the console. So, you need a relatively powerful computer to do that. Hermana says, what a big drawing, I wonder what it is. How long has it been here? It looks like it's been here for ages. Redundant. Anyways, there's also the Ciellan handwriting we saw back in Regnum Caves. It appears to be similar. I'll try to read it. Why didn't we just start there? In the beginning, neither Taro nor Cielo existed, only the great god of creation. In order to cure his eternal solitude, he wrought the world and gods, and both lived together, but as time passed, gods became to loathe the existence of normal people, and they divided the land as a compromise. Can you explain it more simply? I already was, because they're using a bunch of bullshit. According to the mural, all of the world originated from one god. We're just gonna call it that. The giant was lonely, so he created gods and humans. But eventually, gods probably grew a will of their own and started doing things outside of what he intended them to do. So these gods basically separated into two worlds, which is common in Tales games. The bad gods were stripped of their powers, and that's what became humans, I guess. If we think about it this way, we reincarnators aren't special at all, since everyone else is supposed to be a reincarnator. That's not it. Reincarnation was only supposed to take place in Cielo, since Terrans aren't gods. They weren't supposed to reincarnate on the other world or whatever. Terran souls are harvested by the Reapers to be used as part of Cielo's foundation. This existence of Ciellan souls in Taro shouldn't be possible. The duty of carrying Terran souls was once my past self Hypnosis' job. But Ciellan souls are in Taro, we're living proof of that. We also have god powers. That's what I can't make sense of. How did this happen? It could be related to the destruction of Cielo. When it was destroyed, souls that were supposed to return there are returning here, perhaps. Wasn't this a legend passed down? There's no way everyone wouldn't know about it. Well, it is one of the church's secrets. If everyone knew they descended from Cielo, establishing a religion would have been impossible. Isn't that just kind of evil? The church distorts the truth just to spread its religion? I understand how you could feel that way, however the church is acting for the sake of man's well-being. Should humanity think of themselves as gods, they'll grow lazy and arrogant. Yet now, thanks to the fracture, our belief is slowly becoming antiquated. That's right, I wanted to unify Cielo and Taro. I remember telling Inanna about it, that Ashura once wanted to unify Cielo and Taro. Yeah, you have people arguing about shit. Guaranteed. like I said, one word doesn't have one meaning, so you have a bunch of people arguing over which meaning fits the context of the game. And I think, like, what they should do, and what probably doesn't happen, is that people who have played most of the games in the series should be helping the people that are translating figure out, like, what this meaning is, and not just assuming that they know, having only played, like, maybe one of the games. Because, like, with this game, like, there's so many gigantic words that people are using, and I'm like, this is not how Tales games are structured. Like, they're not, like, throwing, like, huge words at people. Like, like, in this game especially, it's called Tales of Innocence. It's literally about kids. Kids don't talk like that. Like, you have to kind of, like, change the context of it to fit the fucking purpose of the game, which has not been done, in my opinion, very well. But, I mean, I don't speak Japanese, so I'm sure the people that do probably would disagree with me quite a lot. They'd be like, oh, you fucking loser, you don't even speak Japanese, why should we listen to a word you say? I guarantee you that's how that would go. Got my $1 million in my back pocket, ready to make that bet any day. Even though I don't really have that kind of money. Obviously! If I had that kind of money, I would not be in the United States. I can tell you that right now. I'd be in fucking... probably move to Canada, even though I don't really love the cold. It's a slightly less shitty place to live. Oh, well, that's annoying. Gotta get the item first. But yeah, I dated somebody who had like their master's degree in English and was getting a PhD, and he would translate stuff because he spoke more than one language, and he would argue about shit like this that would happen in groups of teams that are translating stuff. Very interesting indeed. But yeah, like, they use the word deify in this game somewhere, like, to make one as a god. Like, that's all well and good that you know the meaning of that word and you used it there correctly. But let's be real, kids don't know what the fuck that shit means. So, what they did was they used that word that nobody's gonna understand, and then they defined it. But it's too much shit, like, they do it kind of often. It's like, it's really cute that you're trying to teach people new words, but the people that are actually playing this game are people with the skill and know-how to fucking hack a video game. So, you don't need to, like, have all these baby steps for them. Just do it in the context of the game. Don't do it in the context of, like, oh, we're trying to teach people something. It's just kind of dickish. Yeah, and then you get people that are just like, they hate gay people, and then they just fucking phrase it however they feel it would work best. Or you get, like, religious kook jobs, or all kinds of different personalities that want to put their own spin on it. Because they think, you know, if it's made just for them, then it'll be, like, all nice for them or whatever. But that doesn't work. Doesn't fucking work at all. Having random encounters in a gigantic puzzle room is fucking annoying. That is one thing people should definitely learn. do I even get in that room? It doesn't look like there's a way in over there. Like, in this game, they're trying to kind of code one of the characters as gay-ish. And I don't understand why. Like, there doesn't, at least to me, appear to be a need or a reason for it. And there's, like, a lot of, like, schoolboy and girl crush type stuff happening. But they're not doing it in a way where it sounds like children. They're like using like adult words, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, it just kind of destroys the humor that could have otherwise been inserted into the situation. Okay, so I can't go any further until I open this bullshit. So I don't think this is one of those puzzles where I have to do it in a certain order. I just need to make stuff float first and get the items later, I think is how this works. Oh my god. The AI in this game always goes for the fucking main character. And everything stops you. Like, it doesn't matter if it does 0 damage, like, it's really obnoxious. And usually in Tales games, near the beginning, you'll get, like, some kind of skill that's, like, no guard, where, like, you won't actually, like, get interrupted if the damage is really weak or whatever. So it'd be really great if they could, get on top of that. I think I can go light this one up now. I don't know that Tales has ever expressly written a gay character before. I don't get why, like, the Japanese in general are so averse to gay people. Like, they are not friendly to the gay. They don't want anything to, like, do with gay people in that culture, it seems like. Which is just gross, like everything there, to me, like, the Eastern view is more, like, about the family. Like, it's a lot less to do with the individual. And I think, like, being gay is viewed as, like, an individual type action that's being taken. So, you know, you're not representing your family's best interest if you choose to be gay or whatever. So they want you to go and, like, fucking diddle some girl and put a baby in her, and you can just cheat on her on the side. Like, it seems like that would be more the approved methodology. And it's like, what if you don't want to be with that person, though? Like, it's just like living a lie, in my opinion. Very bizarre to me. But yeah, they have all those love hotels there because there's a lot of repression in that society. What do you think happens in those? Probably sex, is what I'm gonna guess. And I mean, think of the kids you're bringing into that scenario, into your loveless marriage. Like, is that really what you want, you know, to subject another life to for literally their whole life? Like, if you change your mind and decide to get rid of this woman and, like, be with a man, like, what are you doing to those kids? Like, But, oh, it's not about the kids, is it? It's about the honor of the family. It's fucking bullshit. Yeah, like, it's always so funny to me, too, because, like, they always assume, like, 2 gay people is basically the equivalent of 2 women. And I'm like, they both have a penis, though, right? Like, it's just so idiotic. And, like, in our society, it's, like, very, like, inappropriate, I think, for us to teach people, like a boy to like Barbies or something. Like, oh, you're gonna ruin that kid, you know? Like, I feel like that's kind of how they act. You know, oh, he'll never, like, be able to drive a car because you've put so much girl energy into him or something. Like they'll just never succeed in life or society because they don't understand, like, the unspoken rules of what it is to be a man. And I'm like, you're retarded? Abso-fucking-lutely retarded. That's all I got for that one. I don't even think that matters. Like, kids are gonna do whatever they want. They're fucking children, dude. Like, you can give them a bunch of options that they probably won't understand. It just doesn't really matter, in my opinion. Like, if you're at the store and the kid wants to play with X, Y, or Z toy, like, and you can afford to buy him the toy, like, get the one the kid is gonna get the most enjoyment out of. Namely, the one that he wants, or she, or rather. But, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stupidity with, like, transness, too. Like, yes, trans people exist. I totally get that. I've slept with some of them. It was great. It came every single time. But it's like, you can't allow a child at a very young age, in my opinion, who doesn't know what the fuck they want in their life to make a perhaps permanent or irreversible decision. Like, I'm sorry, but wait till they're legally viewed as an adult. Like, let's say that age is 18 in the US, and let's say we can, for exceptional cases, allow people that are maybe 14 to 16 to change, or 14 to 17, depending on their maturity, psychological evaluation, like, actually, like, making sure that this isn't, like, gonna be something that fucks their shit up down the line, or that they want to change later. But everybody just wants to be fucking woke. Like, oh, let them do whatever they want, whenever they want. Like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Go give kids a bunch of fucking toys, and if you fail to supervise them, what do you think's gonna fucking happen? They're gonna tear some shit up. Oof. Like, I don't know, our society is very strange to me. That we basically lock kids in a prison and tell them they can't leave that prison until they're 18 and they, like, have learned all this garbage. Most of it's garbage. And, like, for a kid like me, it didn't do anything for me. It was a waste of time. Like, I was pretty smart. Like, I knew kind of, like, what I wanted to do. But nobody was, like, no education system, nor my family, was, like, encouraging me to use what, like, were my strengths and go from there. Like, it's just like, no, you have to conform to society's wild need to shove a child in a fucking prison until they're 18. Like, I was a lot more mature than kids my age, so it was very difficult for me to make friends. Like, it's tricky. It's not, society is not tailored for most people. It's tailored to kind of like a whole. Ruka says, I wonder what this mural is about. Well, it looks like a town on fire and an all-seeing eye. Something the matter, Ruka? This voice. What a small world to think I'd find you two together at the same time again. And he is someone you, of all people in the world, know the most, Census. If I'm to obtain everything just to lose it right after, I'd rather have nothing from the start. Hey, something the matter, Ruka? Are you tired? Oh, nothing, it's nothing. But yeah, like, honestly, this might sound stupid of me, and I'm sure some people would be pissed to hear this, but, like, if you have a society that doesn't stigmatize homosexuals, then do trans people still exist in that situation? I would say yes, to some extent. Like, obviously, some people are gonna, you know, not know really what it is they want in life and adhere to other people's expectations and want to change later, but, like, if everybody is just rah-rah homos, like, is there gonna be as many trans people? Probably not, in my opinion. There it is, look, it's the memory spring. Ilya? Oh, I was saying, if gayness is, like, acceptable completely across the board, then do you think trans people would exist, like, in the same volume that they do now? Like, I was saying that, like, perhaps they would, because, you know, people don't always figure out exactly who they are or what they want to be, like, immediately, of course, but I was, like, arguing that if this entire state, like, is rah-rah, who cares if you like penises or vaginas or whatever, like, how many people are gonna feel the need to change themselves to fit the society that hates gay people in the first place? I was arguing that if you're pro-gay all the time everywhere, then how do you have trans people? Like, you probably have a lot less of them, in my opinion. Anyways, Ilya says, I think I'm remembering something that I shouldn't remember. Are you okay? Says Ruka. Ashura, please, I beg you, seal the Genesis. It's dangerous. What's the matter, Inanna? Your face is pale. Ashura, please, if you don't. I'm happy as I am right now, together with you. I want it to remain the same way, always. So please, let us seal away that power, so that neither census nor ratio shall have it. Well, that was intense. That's it? Boring. Seconded. Indeed, the memories slumbering within this spring provided us with little information. Ashura should have been more forceful, like he should have pinned her down or something. Yeah, I almost fell asleep. So, did you two remember anything? Not much. I remembered that I was with Inanna, and that we were talking about something. Ilya says, it felt like I wasn't supposed to remember this, and my head hurts now. Are you okay, Ilya? In the end, we weren't able to learn much. Anyways, what's that mural about? Let me see. According to the carvings, the Overlord raised the Genesis and called upon the sleeping power. To sum it up, the Overlord was the one that used the Genesis? Well, that's what the mural says. Chitose once told me that Mateus was someone I knew well. Is she the Overlord? I'm sure she wants to get the Genesis so that she can destroy Taro now that Cielo's gone. Mateus, her. Ow, my head. It must be the air pressure, considering we are deep below the sea level. Perhaps you should lie down for a bit. It's gone. I swear, I'm starting to get pissed. Why is this happening? Reincarnators like us are suffering because of Cielo's destruction, because of Matthias. Damn you. We don't have any more reasons to be here. Let's get out. Having been exposed to a new memory spring, new abilities can be acquired. Okay. Well, that sounds cool. Let's do that. It's strange, like, I think it's something I've mentioned before, but, like, transgender people are, like, revered in some cultures. It's just intriguing. So much intrigue. 160. Jesus, this game is stingy with AP. Wow. Going through this whole dungeon, I got like 300 AP, and like, it unlocks a bunch of stuff on the grid that costs 300 AP. Lame. Chitose told me that Matthias was someone I knew quite well. Is she the Overlord? The Overlord raised the Genesis and called upon its slumbering power. This inscription was etched onto the mural. However, to sum it up, it's just as Ruka said. If Matthias was the Overlord, then the reason she wants the Genesis is so that she can destroy Taro. Maybe the Overlord appeared right after Ratio and Census fought for the Genesis. But the Overlord doesn't appear in Ashura's memories. It could also be that Ashura doesn't want to remember it. Oh, sheesh. You seem to have been getting a lot of headaches lately. Should we consult a doctor? No, I'm fine. That strong facade of yours might end up halting the recovery process, you know? That's not it. It's just that I think I know why I'm getting these headaches. What do you mean? And it's gone. Let's get moving. Is she really okay? I can't help but worry. I really hate plots that rely on amnesia. I feel like every fucking JRPG plot known to man pretty much does it. And it's just done because it's just way more convenient for you to not know, like, what's going on in the beginning. Like, it's a lot more difficult to write a story that's complex and interesting than it is to just, like, oh, everybody doesn't have their memories and they'll learn them slowly over time. It's just such bullshit, in my opinion. It's so lazy. It's like the laziest way to write a story. Amnesia is like the author knows what they want with the story, but they don't want you to know it yet. Chitose. So you've shown yourself. Mind your tongue, Ilya. You're a young lady, are you not? What a pleasure to meet you again. What do you want? Lord Asura, Lady Matthias needs you. Come with me, let's be happy together. I can't go with you, I've already decided. I promised myself that I'll protect Ilya, and that I'll be there for her. Why won't you understand? Up until now, I have buried these feelings, but if you think I'm gonna stand by and let you make the same mistake again, I won't. I'm different from how I was before. I will never let her take you from me again. Chitose, wait, what are you doing? You forced my hand. You made a mistake, my lord. That stubbornness of yours will lead to your demise. And so, even if it's at the cost of that woman's life, I will take you to Matthias myself. Okie dokie. Alright, she's dead. Chitose, if Cielo wasn't involved, your hometown, and even this war wouldn't have had to happen. All of this is happening because Matthias, no, the Overlord, used the Genesis, right? And even now, she's still trying to destroy Taro. Isn't that why Matthias desires the Genesis? Chitose, tell me what happened. Wrong. Lady Matthias will never do something like that. But didn't Cielo get destroyed the last time because of Matthias? Tell us the truth. Why are you pretending that you don't know? Fine, I'll fill in the gaps for you. The one who destroyed Cielo was you, Inanna. That can't be. What are you saying? What are you on about? Get your head out of your ass. Inanna betrayed you, Lord Ashura. She'll surely do it once more. Do not forget that woman has betrayed you. What exactly do you mean? Listen to your heart. Okay, and then she disappears. Don't let her get to you. I think she's just desperate and jealous of your relationship. Lying in order to cast doubt is a quite common psychological tactic. Exactly, don't let it bother you. Let's go back to the village. That was the Lady of Misfortune. Finally, our actors are assembled. The fruits of my labor have finally come to fruition. I don't believe what Chitose says, but I can't shake this horrible feeling. Oh my god. Maybe the child is allergic to the clothing that you're putting on it, because you're a cheap prostitute. Like, people just do and say the stupidest shit, and it gives me such a headache. A 2-year-old. Yeah, let's fucking glue a prosthetic dick onto this girl, or chop off its dick and make an artificial vagina at age 2 because it didn't like being dressed up in a dress. I don't like wearing clothes most of the time, honestly. It's not comfortable. Especially, like, corporate-y clothes. Anyways, Ruka says, Spada, do you remember anything about Sakuya? Chitose's past self. I remember. What was she like? She's a goddess of flowers, someone that many people looked up to. I also think of her as earnest. She was dedicated to Ashura and followed closely behind him in Inanna. She's very modest and stepped aside to let them be happy together. I think that's also the reason Chitose was interested in you the moment that you met. You sure are a sinful one, just like Asura. What should I do? As if I know, even Asura chose Inanna, despite being aware of Sakuya's feelings. I can't control how others will act, besides, we're talking about our past selves here. That's true, but Chitose doesn't look at me that way. Then why the hell are you asking me what you should do? Is your head swollen or something? If Ilya heard what I said now, she'd turn me into a colander. That doesn't make any sense. But whatever. She'd probably, a colander is a fucking dish in the US that we use to drain, things that you've cooked. Like, if you've boiled something, the colander is to get rid of the boiling water and to keep whatever's left over, like potatoes or macaroni and cheese. So, I don't understand. Since Ilya is in general a bitch and violent, you could have used any she'd punch me or something. Whatever. Anyways. Right, we have to be quiet when talking about this so she won't hear. Rather than being careful, just make sure not to talk about Sakuya in front of her. You're right. Thanks, Spada. No problem, man. I'm happy you came to me for advice. What the hell is that witch saying? Betray us? Bull crap. I don't want to get involved in this mess. Hey, Ruka, say something. Ilya, wait up. What's up with Ilya? She's acting strange. Who knows? Weren't you the one that met her first? You're closer to her than the rest of us. Right, do something, Ruka. But I haven't done anything. Would it be okay if I treat her like always? I guess you're right, that's how it should be. But this problem will continue to fester as we continue the journey. Are you okay with that? I wonder, won't just treating her as usual be the right way to go? Ruka, you have to calm down and think about it. As of now, both of you are shaken. You have to take a deep breath first. I wonder if she's alright. That's what we came here for after all, since Spada seems to get red hot-headed too quickly. Dear me, why is it that Chitose is such a nuisance? I only got the gist of it, but it seems like it happened because of a love affair. Oh, was that the case? I also had no knowledge of what their relationship was like in the past either. However, I'm supposed to know about Ilya, so I am a bit worried. So Ruka, what do you intend to do? It seems that her irritation is different from usual. Indeed, let us brainstorm a solution. We have been together for a good while. Our relationship isn't going to break so easily. Who knows, we might find a solution along the way. Ruka, you should try and talk to Ilya first. What happens after that is up to you. Okay, I'll just react accordingly. To be honest, I'm more worried about Ruka than I am Ilya. Don't think too much about it. Once Ilya regains her spirits, it'll be just as usual. In these situations, letting time pass is also a feasible solution. Indeed, until then, we should worry about Ruka acting rashly. Which he almost never does, because he's timid, so that doesn't make sense. Anyways, to think that even I would end up discussing other people's relationships. Good grief. Why good grief all the time? These people were a fan of Peanuts comics, I guess. No idea if this is a good time, but I'm glad you said it earlier. Yeah, it's because Koda's trying really hard. Not you, I'm talking about the time when Ruka said, I'll protect Ilya. Oh, that's not what Koda said. Ruka says, to be honest, I don't know why I said that. You know, man, yeah? That was pretty cool. Was it? I bet it definitely reached her heart. If they betray you after hearing all that, they're not even human at that point. But Koda might end up unknowingly betraying you all, though. You're not human in the first place, so it's fine. Yeah. No biological correlation between clothes and people. That is quite true. I've never understood why, like, you can't just dress however you want, like, as a kid. Like, I hate wearing fucking pants. Like, I get hot really easily. I would rather wear shorts all the time. But in corporate world, it's inappropriate. Your legs are just horrible as a man and should be covered, but then they let women wear skirts, so it's like, the fuck are you on about? Spada says the atmosphere between everyone is heavy. It's all because of Chitose. I thought she was cute, but this is too much. Whatever could be going through that young lady's mind, it's likely that she's planning on making us doubt each other. No doubt about that. That's why we shouldn't worry about what she says. Angie says, I'm more curious as to why she would have that haircut at such a young age. Oh my god. Look at her, no matter how you frame it, having bangs as a teenager is questionable. No, it's unquestionably tacky. Angie, you're unexpectedly harsh when talking about someone's appearance. Now that you mention it, what about you? Don't you have bangs also? Don't tell me, Angie. Are you perhaps jealous of that girl's hair? I have curly hair, so after seeing her straight black hair, I cannot help, but yeah, I am. So you're just jealous? That's unexpectedly immature. What else should I feel? This is a haircut that is supposed to bring out my long-gone youth, which is why it is fine if I act immature every once in a while. You don't have to act like a brat, though. Let her be. That sort of attitude is also kind of cute. Considering it's Angie, I can't help but think that her attitude's intentional. Thanks to her reaction, the heavy atmosphere has lifted just a little bit. Angie's amazing. Women can be quite scary. And to even see through that means you're pretty smart yourself, Ricardo. Looks like I still need more experience. Sir Conway, can you tell me how you found yourself traveling alongside us? Is there something wrong? Nothing, I just find it strange. Why would you, someone who's not a reincarnator, choose to travel with us? I just happened to save Ruka, Ilya, and Spada when they were in trouble. It is I who specifically requested to join them. Indeed, mainly because I have grown rather fond of them. At any rate, since I'm already traveling somewhere, I might as well go with people I like. And I want to see their journey through to the end, that way my curiosity will be sated. I see. Just seeing how your journey will turn out is enough for me. Okie dokie. Like in Arizona, the United States Postal Service will only let people wear shorts if it's like over 100 degrees outside as a dude. I'm like, how is that like a compromise? If it's 100, like, you probably want your skin covered up, you know, so that you don't get sunburned. It's just so stupid, like, some of the shit that I see in this country. Like, how is wearing shorts unprofessional? Like, I don't get it. But there were, like, places where the dress code was so strict that they would, like, send people home if they didn't look professional enough, and I was like, how does sending this person home benefit the business in any way? And, like, it was at a call center, too, where people couldn't even, like, the clients we interacted with didn't even see the actual, you know, salespeople. So, like, why did it matter what they were wearing? It's so ridiculous. Yeah, fuck that noise. And now that everybody's had, like, a tiny little taste of freedom where they're working from home, it's like, how are you gonna try to, like, get people to come back to an office, have to get up and get ready every day when they otherwise wouldn't need to, get in a car, spend money to get to work and back, and then waste, like, at least 2 hours of that person's day every single day in commute time, getting ready time? Like, so idiotic in my opinion. It's just they want to have so much control over you so that they can dictate your entire life. Like, they want you to eat, sleep, breathe, and shit work all the time, 24/7. That's what the true desire is. None of these companies give a shit about you as an individual. They want to take away your individuality and conform you to their shitty corporate culture. Like, that's the whole game. And that's a shitty game. Your sister's a bitch. She annoys everybody. Don't run a business then, bitch. Go out and get a job. What a dumb whore. I hope she gets fucking eaten by, like, a revived Tyrannosaurus Rex. Such a stupid motherfucking thing to say. I don't wanna pay people to work for me. Ooh, I want slaves. Okay. That seems like a great argument. I'm awfully sleepy. Coda, I'm gonna go on a walk so I don't fall asleep. Coda's not sleepy, though. You can come with me. I don't understand the point of that, but whatever. A long trip can take a toll on a sweet girl such as myself. How was it, Hermie? Is your sleepiness... Who's there? Show yourself. It's just me. Oh, so it's Ricardo. You scared me. I thought you were an enemy. You shouldn't lower your guard while going on a stroll. Are you watching over us? You're surprisingly nice, aren't you? Look, it's not because I'm kind, I'm just doing my job of protecting you guys. Look at yourself getting shy. Don't worry if it makes people think that you're kind. Consider it an advantage. I have no use for kindness on the battlefield. Now, let's head out. It felt like he was doing more than just his job, though, but I think that's better left unsaid. A lot of people don't care about anybody else but themselves, so... A lot of people are narcissistic douchebags, and they'll pretend not to be, you know, to get what they want, basically. That's the long and short of all that. Most people are just pretending to be a socially acceptable version of themselves, and they're not the same person they're letting on. Ilya says, Ruka, don't tell me you're looking out for Chitose. No, not at all. I wonder what that memory spring was showing us earlier. It looked like Ashura and Inanna were arguing about the Genesis. I'm sorry, Ruka, but give me some space. I'll be fine in a bit, so can you leave me alone for a bit? Okay. We finally finished our objective here in Ashihara. Why don't we get something to eat? Sorry to ruin the mood, but we don't have time to dilly-dally. Why not? It's time for us to leave. Let's head out. No food? I'm disappointed, though. You can eat on the ship. Where are we going next? Galpos is too far, and it's going to be hard to get to Tenos, considering the war. That leaves us with Garum, right? Well, that's the signal that the ship is ready to depart. Walk faster, or we're leaving you behind. Crap, there really isn't enough time. Let's move, guys. There wouldn't be much trouble getting a ticket to Garum from here. Just talk to the sailor at the port. It's a bit hectic, but we should hurry to the boat before it leaves. Voyages should be way more chill than this. Yeah, I don't like vacations where I'm rushed. I'm a lazy vacationer. Hermana says, too true. I wanted to enjoy my first journey by eating a lot of different kinds of food. Exactly. At least we should take the time to buy some souvenirs. Souvenirs are pointless garbage in my opinion. I don't think we should buy any souvenirs. They just end up as baggage. That won't do, Ruka. Don't you have any ambition? Can't you read the atmosphere? We're supposed to be having an interesting conversation about souvenirs. What a hopeless person. I'm gonna have to teach you from scratch. It's fine to be an honor student, but that only depends on the situation. It's still such a shame. I wonder what sort of souvenirs Ashihara sells. Maybe some wooden swords. Can't we just buy something more practical? Like manju or something? If we can't eat them, our baggage will just end up being bulky. And accessories that we can carry, if we get those, we won't have to worry about baggage. I see. So stupid. This game gives you, like, basically an unlimited inventory, so why are they talking about items taking up space? Oh boy. Yeah, your sister is a bitch who's a victim all the time, forever. Like, that's just her thing. It's never gonna change. Angie says, I was shocked to hear that we were supposed to sleep on the floor. This is a futon, correct? It's very soft and fluffy. Yeah, and those with bad sleeping postures, like Ilya, can sleep soundly. I know, right? If I had a penny for every time I fell... Wait, you're the one who kept falling. But you fell lots of times. That's enough, you two. Let us sleep. Okay. I've never fallen out of bed before, to my knowledge. Just because you're sleeping on the floor doesn't mean... Sigh. Okay. I love it when people are like, the world's out to get me. The world isn't out to get you. The world just has standards. The world will forget you if you want it to. You can just lock yourself in a closet and cry all day and nobody's gonna care, but you and maybe the 5 or 10 people that actually give a shit about you in your life, like... But if you're a bitch to everyone all the time, eventually nobody's gonna care. And I think that's how your sister, like, that's the situation she's in. If you're just a vile bitch to everybody, eventually people just don't give a shit about you anymore. They're just gonna let you do your thing and Whatever, you want to complain? It's falling on deaf ears. I wonder how many times we slept on the floor. It was hard the first time, but now it's quite comfortable. I know, right? What the heck's up with this weird net thing? I believe it's a mosquito net. Its purpose is to stop insects from biting you. Oh, so it's like a dome. Coda got caught. Help me. Doesn't Coda look like a fish caught in a net? I can't get it off. Don't move. Okay. Good night, Spada. Good night. Ruka's sleeping. So is Conway. Old man Ricardo got in way before. This time will be it for sure. Tiptoe, tiptoe. This guy looks so happy. You're awake, old man? Anyone would wake up if you shout that loud. Man, you sure are dedicated. So are you gonna sleep, or do you want to sleep in the afterlife? Fine, fine. Good night. Good night, good night. Alright, everyone's asleep in a different room. Let's try it again. Well, should be fine as long as he's not awake. I should treat him tomorrow. What are you doing, Spada? I should ask you the same thing, Hermie. I can't believe you're making me say it. I have to go to the bathroom. What's with that reaction? Were you thinking of something weird? Of course not. You're totally not thinking of something weird, are you? Alright, I'm gonna head off to bed, so don't do anything stupid. She totally knows. I'm going back to bed. Hey Ruka, I've been thinking about a new move. Do you want to practice? Cool, what kind of move? Let me show ya. Fire kill side-splitting laughter. Hermie, that tickles. Are you alright, Ruka? Conway, stop her, hee hee ha ha ho. Hermie, can you cut that out? Ruka's already dying from laughter. How was that, Ruka? Was it effective? It was, but I don't think it'll work against a monster. Thanks for your feedback. Well, if you think up something else, let me know. Alright, so we extinguished all the skits. Time to get on the boat. I was gonna buy new stuff for my people, but I think I forgot, so I'll just do it in the next town. Might as well not waste my money. Can save it up for something fancy, I guess. Am I really running away from the past? For some reason, continuing this journey scares me. When I remember my past self, Inanna, she's someone that's happy just being in love. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to remember anything else about her. What did she want from Ashura, and why would she betray him? Was Inanna the cause of Cielo's destruction? It's so scary. I don't want to know. Wasn't Inanna pretty? Of course, everyone in Cielo looked up to her. With that beauty, everyone would follow her. That's right. I hate her, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't look up to her. Beauty, elegance, and grace. No matter how hard I try, it's just not me. As I remember my past life, I wonder if I'll become more like her. Ilya, are you alright? Apologies, I'm not thinking about anything. Don't concern yourself with me. Fake laughter. She's acting weird. Hermie, look, I can see the port. Yeah, the kind of people that something's always wrong, like, they're just attention-seeking prostitutes. Ruka says, I didn't get seasick this time. I think I'm slowly getting used to riding ships. So we're really at Garum? No, we're at the port. The town's further away from here across a mine. Are we going to be going through another mountain? Nothing like the one we crossed before. A tunnel? What's a tunnel? It's an underground passageway. Okay, let's get going. What do you know about Garum, Ricardo? After Garum obtained the port, it opened up possibilities for the exportation of minerals. At the end of the day, what use is the abundance of minerals if only you possess it? No other country possesses more mines than this one, and eventually other countries will want to do business with them. And the value of minerals can also sometimes cause wars. That's how it is, after all. Regnum's interest in Garum is for its mineral resources. You sure do know a lot, Ricardo. It's not just knowledge I gained through studying, it's knowledge I've learned by being out in the world. Having someone who is well-traveled is a great help. This sort of information was included with Angie's payment, that's all. You and Ruka both share the same memories of your past lives, yet the way you both act is quite different. Well, naturally, the memories we share might be the same, but it's in the small details that differ. Ruka and Ashura's memories, and I share Inanna's, remember? Oh, okay. I see that as quite valuable insight from someone with a previous incarnation. And you know, I'm not really fond of women who act like Inanna. As for Ruka, he likes Ashura because he looks up to him. That's one thing we both differ on. Interesting, so this is what it's like to have a previous life's memories. Dear me, that is quite a suspicious glare. What are you talking about? I seem to be hated here. I don't hate you, I'm just being cautious for the sake of my client's safety. Why so? You're not a reincarnator, yet you use Ciellan arts. On top of that, you're traveling with us, it's natural to be suspicious. I did mention that my spells are not arts. That said, are you really sure that caution is for your client's sake? What are you talking about? I wonder myself. Speaking of, how's your lessons going with Ruka, Coda? Coda's smarter now, but he hasn't taught me anything past 6. Coda knows what 1 plus 1 is now. 0. What? How is it 0? Ruka told me that if I eat it, it will become 0. Ruka must be suffering. I feel sorry for him. Hermie must be surprised how much smarter I am now. But yeah, people who live like your sister, always seeking, having everything, like, all the time, be the best thing, end up not being able to retire. Barrage Master. It is I. Beat my record of 33 barrages in 5 seconds. Seven times. Alright, I won something. Yay, new weapons and stuff. Maybe. And some games, like with crafting systems, I'll do that, but this game doesn't have anything like that. I don't know yet. Like, I played the first one because of the marketing, and it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. So I'm distrustful of them. I might wait for that to come out and see what happens. Oh, there's the Wonder Chef. Taught us how to make a yakisoba sandwich. Noodle sandwich, that sounds disgusting. Too noisy. What was that sound? It's a ship horn. I'm going back to bed. Me too. Ilya apparently thinks she's gonna find the manager of whoever's tooting the boat horn and yell at them. Proving further my hypothesis that she's a vile fucking cunty bitch. Anyways. Good night, Spada. Good night. Alright, Ruka's asleep and that old man. This is the day. Tiptoe, tiptoe. Oh my, where are you going? Isn't it obvious? The secret garden, the paradise of man. Mind explaining what that is to me? What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Ricardo and Hermie both told me you've been acting strange. Let's have a talk. Hold on, Angie. I can explain. It's just too much carbs, like... I'm sure it could be tasty, but I feel like it's just garbage food, and I'd feel like shit the rest of the day if I ate it. Hey, Ricardo, I've been wondering for a while now, but where did you get your scar? It's best that you don't know. Okay. How do you think Ricardo got his scar? He probably got it on the battlefield. The children are speculating he might have gotten it from a woman. Okay. I don't know if they're inferring that he was eating some chick out and then she closed her leg so fast that it sliced his face open. Seems kind of crazy to me. Honestly, so many new games are coming out all at once that it might be something that falls off my radar, though. We'll see what happens. Calypso Mine is northeast. It shouldn't be far. Fucking mama's northeast. kind of want to explore a little bit. I think there's actually a really bad B horror movie that's called Teeth, and it's literally about a woman that has teeth in her pussy. It's kind of fucked up. The culture of dating in the US is so bizarre to me too, like with like heterosexuals. I don't get it, man. It just isn't my jam. Like, I feel like men have to like trick women into having sex with them, like, and women just seem to have this like purity bullshit, like oh, I can't be viewed as a whore because whatever. It's so strange to me. Like, why don't you just get over yourself and admit that you have sexual urges and just do whatever you want? Like, I don't think society is ready for that in general. Like, we like to maintain our falsehoods about how we act, being like, oh, I'm more virtuous because I only had sex once in the 80s. Like, sure you are. Seems like a really great reason to not have sex every once in a while. Sex is good for your psychological state, it's good for your skin, it's a light exercise, like, it's everything. So when people, like, treat it as this dirty thing, I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? So this is a tunnel. It's damp and humid. This is normal because of groundwater. Be careful, because cave-ins happen. Yeah. Oh, she's trying to trick other people into thinking there's a ghost, and now Ricardo's embarrassed. Conway says there's something off about this place, or is it just my imagination? Yeah, like, I just don't get all this shit. But, I mean, I've heard a lot of women tell me, like, they feel like they're gonna get raped all the time. And I'm like, I guess that is a thing to worry about, because women are typically less strong than men. So, that's why they divide the sports out that way. Like, can't you just tell your friend, like, hey, I'm going to X, Y, and Z's house, and if I fucking don't call you by 11:30 at night, then this is the address where I'm at, and you need to come and follow up with the police or something. But, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I've never had any bad stuff happen, and I've hooked up, like, a ton. It's just strange, but I mean, like, our culture in general is like, men are supposed to be, like, impressing women, and not the other way around, which I really dislike as well. Like, why aren't you trying to impress each other? It feels like in this culture, sometimes it's like, oh, you need to be the one that, like, does everything for this person. And I really don't get that. Like, I've kind of explained before, I think, to people, like, they're like, oh, you've had sex with women, doesn't that mean you're bi? I'm like, not really. Like, I view myself as gay because it works better for me, like, across a plethora of different reasonings. Well, yeah, you can also have, like, a fuck buddy, like, hey, I don't really find myself interested in you romantically, but every once in a while, when we need to get our rocks off, let's go take care of that together, sort of a thing. Person I know and trust. But sex and emotions are tricky to keep separately anyhow. Like, you can have really good sex, and then it's like, oh, well, why shouldn't I, like, try to date this person, sort of a thing? But one of my good girlfriends was telling me too, like, it's a hormonal thing, she thinks. Like, she's like, my body is telling me at any given point in time that, like, I should be having children. And she's like, I don't want kids. Like, but it's like this biological fucking mess of aching tubes and hormones, you know? Angie says, you sure have grown, Ruka. You have feelings for Ilya, do you not? Well, we were lovers in our past lives. However, according to Spada, there's something between the two of you. He was just kidding. I wonder why he hides it. But I don't know, it's weird, like, society too is like, hey, if this person isn't, like, of comparable hotness, then they shouldn't be with ugly person or whatever, or slightly chunky person. Like, it's just also very shallow. I just personally don't really get it all that much. Like, I literally cannot have sex with somebody unless I, like, know a little bit about them, or, like, their personality. Like, I need more information than just, like, is this person semi-attractive? Like, in dating, I mean, obviously you'd want to know a lot more about them than that as well, I would gather, but some people just like the idea of, like, being with somebody that's very attractive because, like, other people see that and it makes them, like, better or something? Or, like, of more value? I don't know. Like, that seems like a really depressing way to live your life, but go for it, I guess. It's funny, too, because, like, I rarely get on, like, hookup apps, because it's really annoying. Like, people will just start talking to me after not having read my profile and, like, send me a dick pic or, like, other stupid shit. And I'm like, you just kind of, like, completely, like, made you unfuckable in my eyes with these actions. Like, my profile, like, kind of says, like, please read my fucking profile, sort of a situation. And, like, that we're looking for, like, an like, a long-term ongoing situation, like, maybe even, like, a boyfriend, like, to both of us, sort of thing. And, like, sometimes people will be like, oh, that sounds like such awesome whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but it's all well and good that you think you're gonna be a good match, but we don't know you. Like, we need to, like, talk to you first. Some people just, like, assume themselves into the situation, and it's, like, very odd to me. Dating is weird, man. Especially when you're, I don't know, open to more than just one person. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship where you're having sex with other people, or I don't want to be in a relationship where other people could potentially be part of it. Like, they want everything to themselves, which, okay, good for you. But a lot of people try to assume that onto other people's dating lives as well, and it's really obnoxious. I'm like, the fuck? I think, like, society just wants you to fucking breed. Like, if you're not breeding and perpetuating the human genome or some shit, then you're not doing it right. And I just don't get it. Like, we live in a time where, like, food has tripled in price. Like, we're destroying the Earth's finite resources, and everything is becoming so expensive that it's causing famines in other parts of the world. Like, so you want to, like, live in that, like, full time? And you want me to bring other lives into that? That just seems irresponsible. Like, I often joke around that, like, if there is a god, his response to overpopulation is homosexuals, like, because they can, you know, adopt the kids that you stupid straight people have abandoned. Fucking breeders. Fucking breeders! Yeah, relationships aren't just like, oh, I think you're cute and we should date. Like, but that's how a lot of them start off, like, superficially. Like, you should probably, you know this person a little bit. Like, do you like the same kinds of hobbies? If not, that's kind of challenging because you're dragging each other to events that both of you would rather not attend, and that gets old for anybody. So, you might want to date somebody that has common interests. Like, this sounds like it should be fucking, what's the word, common sense, but it surely is not. Like, but sadly, that's just how it works. Like, I feel like couples are made more, like, on how they look together than how they interact. So silly to me. Yeah, and a lot of people I don't think about, this is an 18-year thing, like, at minimum. Like, and it's not a pet, it has more complicated needs than a pet is going to have. Like, you can't just, you know, do this bare minimum, keep them alive to 18, and then pull the plug on them. Like, it's an emotional commitment as well. And, like, I had a dad who wanted a kid that was just like him, and I was nothing like him. And it caused a lot of problems. Because he wanted to, like, be involved in the stuff that I was doing, and he didn't care for any of it, so it's just, you can't create, like, a little mini-me. Like, you're not gonna get, you're rolling the dice genetically, you don't know what you're gonna get. Like, sorry, autism exists. Sorry, mental illness exists. Many other things can happen when you insert genetic material. You're literally playing a game of, like, Russian roulette. Oof. Sometimes kids get sudden infant death syndrome. Like, yeah, the chances of it are low, but you have to kind of, like, as a person, figure out if this is shit you can handle prior to, like, experimenting with the genetic lottery. And this is shit that I feel like is not taught and should be. But nobody wants to talk about sex because it's awkward. Yeah, well, do you want a little bit of awkwardness, or do you want to be wholly unprepared for the shit that can and will happen to you? It's just fucking amazing to me. People are just naive in general. But everybody wants to feel like they're smart and smarter than you. Everybody wants to feel like they're prettier than you, and, like, it's all like Game of Thrones. Like, it just cracks me up. Like, I need to be the best one, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. Like, Or, like, if I can't date the prettiest girl, I don't want to date anybody, and I'll just be a toxic little fucking incel for the rest of my life. Like, okay, cool story. Let me know how that works out for you. It won't. Spoiler alert. You're not always gonna get what you want. So, try to get what you want on a different level. Like, try to take some of your fucking bullshit theories and alter them into something manageable. Ugh, a maze puzzle. I want that treasure chest, damn it. Showing me all these beautiful treasure chests I can't get. Better leave it alone. Yeah, like, people don't think about it. Like, oh, I just want a kid because, you know, some girl I went to high school with showed off their kid on Facebook, and seems like they're getting a lot of attention, and I love attention. So, plus it's just the next logical step in our relationship somehow, so I'm just gonna squirt a baby out. Like, that's some very thinly veiled reasoning to be a mom. Like, what if the person you're with thinks they want to have a kid and then they realize that it's not for them? Like, what happens to your relationship then? You're gambling. That's all I know. Honestly, like, one huge, like, bonus of being gay is this isn't a concern. Think of how much concern it takes away from your relationship. Like, I could be with a woman, but I would like it less, I know that much. And a lot of the reasoning behind that is if I accidentally created a kid that I can't take care of, that I'd probably feel like shit about that. But that's what society wants you to do. They want you to be trapped. They want you to never have to leave your job. It's all a trap. Like, trust me on that one. It is a thinly veiled trap. But if I have kids, I want them to be biologically mine. Why? What difference will it make? Like, if you think it's because you're gonna get a kid that's more like you, you're already wrong. Like, you could still roll the dice on that genetic lottery and create a kid that fucking hates you. So, why not adopt a child that already has similar interests? Like, that's the best way you're gonna get your mini-me, dude. Your genes. Yeah, they're just so important. My genes. My fucking genes. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. Your genes aren't even gonna combine to be your genes anyway. It's gonna be a complicated mixture of two people's genes that can relate and traits that neither of you have. Like, my fucking genes. My genes are so important. My poor little genes. I'm gonna name my kid Gene, because he inherited my genes. Go fucking kill yourself, you stupid monkey. I'm a breeder. I love to breed. Okay. Oh, man. I'm so special. I need to breed. I need my genes. And isn't that like the fucking penultimate, like, narcissism? Is like, I want to create more people in this world that are just like me. The world will be a better place if I squirt a bunch of lives into it that are more like me. How many fucking people, like, with 8 billion lives out there, like you've just so succinctly put, how many bitches am I gonna have to fuck to make the world more like me? It's a lot. It's more than I can do as one person. I guarantee you that. Are you gonna, like, join a bro cult and, like, all your bros just, like, I don't know, who are just like you, just start to go out and fuck everybody they come across? Gonna pull Alexander the Great there? Good luck, buddy! You wanna be Andrew Tate? Well, that guy's going to jail for a long time for human trafficking. So, you might want to alter your aspirations in life a little bit. That's why they call him Alexander the Great. Because he knew how much better a tight asshole was to a loose-ass pussy that shoots babies out of it. Plus, it was, like, socially acceptable, probably more, back in that age. But we've lost those social expectations. Oh my, where are we going now? I feel like people use the word based now, like, is suspicious or, like, sus, and I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I can't blow that rock up. How sad. Like, people just try to use all this, like, new fancy lingo, and I'm like, it might sound cool today, but 10 years from now, the kids will call you a moron if you continue to use such vernacular. So I'm like, cool story, bro. Cool story. And it's kind of amusing, because the people that have kids tend to be the people that are using these words more. And it's like, because the kids are coming up with this shit, sort of a thing. But having a kid, in a lot of ways, kind of, it impedes your leisure time at the very least. Like, imagine, like, if I had a kid, like, okay, I have to wake up early and make sure that kid gets breakfast, probably. And then I gotta make sure they get to their 18-year indoctrination center. And, you know, because if I don't get my kid to the indoctrination center for at least the first 16 years, then I can, as a parent, have criminal charges filed against me by the government for failing to do so. Like, Not only that, but I mean, they gotta eat for breakfast, they gotta eat for lunch, they gotta eat for dinner. That's 3 extra meals I'm paying for a day for 18 years. Like, not only that, but like, this kid is probably gonna have interests and hobbies and wants and desires that I'm going to have to, most likely, you know, take care of in some manner. So, if you're a responsible parent anyway. Some people are just like, I fucking hate this kid. I'm just gonna neglect it forever. But people don't want to think about things like neglected kids. It's a thing that happens. I don't want to think about it, it's too dark. Well, if you don't want to think about things, then you should certainly not be doing them. Like, get the fuck out of here. Have I already been this way? I don't even know anymore. This place sucks. Yeah, like, a lot of parents do the bare minimum, and they like to have it both ways. I'm doing the bare minimum, but like, I'm such a good mom. Like, I'm keeping this child that I decided to have alive. That makes me a good person. Somehow. Supposedly. Uh-huh. Sure, I believe that. I'm pretty sure when I was born, I was smarter than both of my parents combined. And they couldn't, like, deal with that. They had fragile egos. They didn't like that a child was smarter than them, and it bothered them. And it led to conflict. So, shit like that can happen, boys and girls. You don't always get what you want when you roll the genetic dice. It's like that one song, you can't always get what you want. Ain't that the fucking truth? Not even money can buy you everything. Even if you have enough money to, like, have some nanny raise your kid for you, so you never have to touch it or deal with it for the most part, doesn't mean you're gonna have a good relationship with them later. Hermana says, that place was cramped. I'm glad to see the sky. What do you mean? Don't you live in a sewer? Doesn't mean I want to stay in one. And weren't you the one that originally was living there? I don't think you have the right to tell me that. If we head northeast, we'll be in Garum. Alright. Anyways, this looks like a good place for me to end the episode. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.